So good afternoon to all the attendees and esteemed speakers who have joined us for today's session where we try to engage with the exhibition and convention service providers and also the organizers, because both of them play a very important role in the exhibition and convention, in fact, MICE ecosystem. So I would like to welcome especially Mr. Vijay Kumar, who has taken out time for us for this session to address the industry. He is the director of DI Development Institute at the Ministry of MSME. And welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us today. I would also like to welcome our panelist, Mr. Kailash Murarka, who is chairman on board of PLASTIVISION, All India Plastic Manufacturers Association. Mr. Guru Prasath, group director of NuernbergMesse India, one of the leading exhibition organizers in the world. Mr. Max Fernandes, who is the Director of Operations, Informa Markets India. Informa is the leading exhibition organizer globally. We'd like to welcome Mr. Berislav Cizmek, who has joined us from Croatia. He is the CEO at CBBS. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cezmik. Mr. Shibu Chellappan, who is the Director of Pavilions and Interiors. They play a very important role in this ecosystem as service providers. Ms. Meena Bhatia, who is the Vice President and General Manager at Meridien, Delhi. As we all know that hotels play a very important role in this MICE ecosystem. Mr. Dharampal Singh Malhotra, who is Director at Namdhari Events. Thank you for joining. He's from Hyderabad. Mr. H.K. Bhattad, who has joined us from Mumbai, and he is the Director of RMB Events. Mr. Roop Dayani, Director of Scones Global, based in Noida. Mr. Karan Madan, who is the Managing Director of BAE Productions. He's joined us. He's based out of Gurgaon. Mr. Kanish Jain, who is the Director of Padmavati Extrusions. As we all know that temporary structures play a very important role in our ecosystem. So Mr. Kanish can throw some light on that. We have with us Mr. Bhivash Biswas, who is the President of a Stall Building Association, which was formed recently. So we wanted to have some perspectives of stall designers, stall builders. So therefore, a warm welcome to Mr. Biswas as well. With this, I would like to welcome all the panelists and all the attendees who have joined in for this session. My special thanks to Shri Vijay Kumar ji. As we all know that our industry comes under MSME, and the people who participate in exhibitions and conferences, they are also primarily MSMEs. So it is very important that the government put some focus on our sector. As it is, our sector is not yet recognized by the government. We do not come under a sector like a specific industry. So, but our industry, our sector, my sector is one of the worst hit. So it is our due request to the government to have some empathy, have some concern towards our sector, so that there is a rescue plan and there is some kind of a package that is provided to us, because these are dire circumstances for us as we move in the lockdown phase 3.0. So with this, I would like to invite Shri Vijay Kumar ji to please come and address the industry today. Tell us how we can get some support from MSME, and over to you, sir. We'll just unmute you.
Thank you, Raghav, and my odd fellow colleagues from panelists and dear participants. Right. Before I come to the schemes and programs, including the package by the Ministry of MSME, let me discuss and debate how the things will move in next 3 years. You people are the exhibition organizers, right? The situation in the next 3 years, I'm saying, will not be the same as you have done in past, right? Where is the demand? Entire world, where the industries are gone, MSMEs, where the labor has gone, where is the market? Today it is in the newspaper, India, the world's best car manufacturers, they could not sell even one car in this last month in April. Now it's a very big challenge in front of us, not the industries. Because of the industry, we are there, right? So we as an organizer, we as a ministry, we as a as a stakeholders have the responsibility to provide a kind of a different platform for the next 3 years. Let me start one by one, and then I'll come to the Ministry of Schemes and Programs. You people are the organizers for the events, exhibitions, right? I heard last time, most of the time you people spend time that look the stall size, stall, design, food, logistics. Friends, for a buyer, for an industry, this is not their priority. The priority, this is the responsibility of the organizer. He expects that at least minimum, organizer will provide a good food, a good supporting stay, and a stall. Obviously, with a lot of logistic, maybe table, chair, air conditioning, carpet, etc. This is the responsibility of the organizer. But what is more, when the when a participant comes on a stall, he expects from the organizer a buyer that must visit the stall. Now, if there is no buyer, there is no point for organizing the exhibition. If that is so, in the next 3 years, you people have a different responsibility. And responsibility in terms of invite those buyers which are really in need. Participation of a MSME is not an issue, even now or even in future. The more problem is, where is the buyer? And buyer means the person who has the money, who can buy the product or the technology. Money comes from where? The financial institutions, from the banks, or from the state governments, or from the government of India. So I want to just tell you 2-3 things very important. The organizers, all exhibition organizers have to decide their objective very clearly, keeping in view this adverse situation worldwide. Adverse situation. This is the worst situation every country has faced in this century. One. Second is participation. When you invite the participation from MSMEs, it must be very clear to them that look, this type of buyer, these are the people which are coming up. So a equal participation in terms of product, in terms of display of machines and equipment, maybe service sector, no issue. And the best part is the buyers. I don't want to tell you, my panelists and the members, I have attended all these international national exhibitions, Pragati Maidan to Bangalore to Bombay. Even in the international exhibitions organized in Pragati Maidan, I don't want to name it. Even second day, there was no buyer except for few stalls. I'm not saying so. This coming year, I'm saying the pro this COVID-19. Now I'm saying post COVID-19, the situation will go worst. I will tell you how ministry has addressed these issues, the funding, the schemes and programs, that you will not have any problem. What I'm trying to say, you being an organizer, what you have to do and move with the state government and with the government of India, various ministries. There was I am saying just a footwear exhibition, a person who organized a footwear exhibition in Delhi. I'm just saying so, just an example. He just put 200 stalls. This person doesn't organize in Pragati Maidan on this. I asked him, where from you buy the buyers? You will bring the buyers, all these buyers. This program was to be inaugurated by a very high level officer from government of India. We did it. And I was very much, kind of having a fear that a footwear, non-leather footwear exhibitions with 200 stalls, all 100% MSMEs, he's organizing. Believe me, he told me, sir, all these 200 exhibitors, MSME who has come, each will have an order from 20 lakh rupees to 20 crore rupees. This is my responsibility. And only it was a 3 days exhibitions. And I don't want to say it. I personally went along with the very big team of the government of India, the officers. We went, just the bankers also. I mean, even the stall keeper was not free to talk to us. This is the kind of responsibility which you people all have in the post-COVID era. Now, I'm coming to the now what MSME ministry has decided, and not decided, having the schemes and programs from the last, I'm saying 5 years, but last year, yes, we have upgraded these schemes. We have kept a very good funding for every micro and small scale unit. I'm saying again, repeating, not for medium, not for large. Wherever there is an exhibition organized, if ministry is reimbursing 1.25 lakh rupees, 1,25,000 rupees, it may be 6 square meter or 9 square meter, as a reimbursement for stall charges, and additional to this 1.25 lakh rupees per stall, another 25,000, we are paying for economy class airfare, then designing of the stall, and then taking the material from one station to the place of destination where the exhibition has been organized. So ministry is reimbursing, it is a reimbursement, 1,50,000 rupees per stall. I'm seeing all panelists, tell me, including Pragati Maidan or maybe in the Greater Noida Expo Center, no stall is 6 or 9 square meter is costlier than 1.5 lakh rupees. So it is basically a kind of 100% funding, right? One. Second thing, if you want to organize a national level seminar during this exhibition, national level seminar, we are giving subsidy of 2.5 lakh rupees one day. And if it is an international seminar, you are calling experts from abroad, it is 5 lakh rupees, which is a huge amount. So if like every exhibition organized, maybe Pragati Maidan to Bangalore to Mumbai, it is always international experts. So 5 lakh rupee government of India is providing such seminars. Now what else left? The only thing, the things which are left is to the organizers. Now leaving inside this, these two schemes, which is directly impacting the organizers, I'm saying many more schemes, which organizers should do it. Some are doing, only 10%, 90% people are not doing it. I don't know, I'm not putting as a blame, but since I'm attending the exhibitions, this I'm saying so. During these exhibitions, most of the buyers identify or try to reach a conclusion that I have to develop a new product because my buyer wants some value addition in my existing product, or he is asking me a new product which he can deliver, which he can manufacture. Now ministry is providing 15 lakh rupees to 40 lakh rupees. This is the range of subsidy in the design and development of a new product. This thing happened during the discussion only, when the exhibition is going on. Because initial cost is so high for any manufacturer, he tried to avoid a situation why I should go for a new product. You buy my only existing product, because see, or if he is she is ready to manufacture it, then the cost is, you will bear the initial cost. So to bear the initial cost, make the unit competitive. 15 lakh rupees to 40 lakh rupees to a unit for design and development of a new product or a process. I request all the organizers, please take a note of it and tell all the second one. During this process, hundreds of MSMEs, when they develop a new product, right, or a new process, by the time when they reach to a product, they never realize that it is a really innovative product. Then ministry was decided that under this intellectual property rights, IPR scheme, we will help the unit to file IPR, right? Maybe national level patent or international, maybe in any country. We will reimburse them 1 lakh rupee for national patent per product and 5 lakh rupees for international patent. Even 10,000 rupees for the trademark. I am sure in every exhibition, 100, 200, those MSMEs which are coming up, they are having registered trademark. And the cost is not more than 10,000 rupees. I know. It can be reimbursed by the ministry ongoing. This is the intellectual property right and the design. The third one, I've already said it. Now, it is a mandatory for the every government of India ministry and all CPSUs to buy 25% of their requirement from only micro and small scale unit, right? Billions of rupees, I am saying billions of rupees market has come now. And MSMEs are already participating and are supplying it. How many people? I don't know. Organizers inform to their participant, please go for on GEM registration. I'm not sure. GEM is not a new thing which has done only last week. If the unit is registered on GEM, company, NTPC, oil company, IOCL, what you name it, there are 367 CPSUs, leaving aside 65 ministries. And this I'm saying government of India. Each state government has also bring their own public procurement policy on the same line. UP, Delhi, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. Now, if you are registered on GEM, one day you see that, oh, I got an order for rupees 2 crore rupees or 5 crore rupees. Now nobody knows. That's my ministry is I as a ministry. Whenever there is an exhibition in Delhi, like in Pragati Maidan or maybe Expo Center anywhere, MSME ministry is putting up an exclusive office with a dedicated team. All organizers, they are doing all over India. We have all over India ministry office. If it is Mumbai, Mumbai office. If it's Bangalore, Bangalore office. If it is Chennai, Chennai office. If it is Jaipur, Jaipur office. Please ask the ministry to put their own office. We will do everything there on this part. As I'm doing it in Delhi. And if you are finding any organizer is finding any problem, let through Mr. Raghav or directly. You people have my mobile number. I am ready to help you in my mobile number. Now, leaving aside this, the third one. Now, Raghav, I think I'm not taking much time. I'll take another 2-3 minutes more. Is okay?
Sure, sir. Please, please.
Yeah. Now, coming to the next part. Now, the export. During when you organize the exhibition, the entire world is now empty. I spoke to my many friends sitting in, Middle East and CIS countries. This is, sir, forget the food. The product have gone. Now, you being an organizer, this next 2-3 years is the greatest opportunity for the exhibition organizers to grab that market to the Indian MSMEs. Please take them. Before any country enters, we always talk China, China. No. And if you want to go abroad, since entire world is empty, country needs this. The ministry is ready to provide you 1 lakh rupee, 100% to and fro economic class airfare, 100%. 1,25,000 rupees for install charges. In the next 3 years, believe me, install cost will not come so high. It's half of the cost. So 2,25,000 rupees per, my MSME, you can take it from ministry. Doesn't matter, it may be 100 unit. Let it go to 1 crore or 2 crore rupees for such exhibition. I request you.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Your voice is not audible.
Now, so for the export, right? We in the ministry, hundreds of such sponsoring hundreds of such exhibitions in more than 150 countries. If even you organizer, if you feel that, sir, in these 150 countries, our people want to go some other country, some other exhibitions, ministry is also having not a big issue. Write to us, send a mail to us, everything is online. I have no problem. If you, Mr. Raghav, you can depute 1 or 2%, we will train them. And in turn, you can train your all organizers that look how they can apply for the export exhibition. Leaving aside this, we have many such schemes and programs. And I also suggest you one thing more, Mr. Raghav, to the organizers. Whenever an exhibition is being organized, let us say Pragati Maidan or let us say Mumbai, when they talk, the organizers always believe, always focus on the registration part. That's all. There must be a specific counter in the exhibition where each person, each participant, any entrepreneur must go. Sir, I want to set up a unit in Delhi or maybe UP. Is there any industrial estate or maybe any kind of the schemes program? Where do I get the land? Believe me, my dear friends, each state government is coming up, is already there, starting from 100 square meter to the 20,000 square meter in industrial estate, single point registration, single point all kind of facilities. These all things must be provided by the exhibition organizations through a dedicated stall. You people have, but these informations are not being. I have seen it, 1 or 2, but in majority it is not. When you organize an exhibition in Mumbai, you should not restrict to Maharashtra industrial policy or the Gujarat industrial policy. You must people have. Anybody from Gujarat, he want to set up a kind of tie-up through exhibition. Oh sir, I will come to the Noida or Greater Noida. Can you provide me land? You will say no, I don't have. Though it is already available. So infrastructure support. Then finally, before I close my remark to the financial, that is the banks. RBI through RBI and all the banks, the package has already come, right? And in the coming weeks, something more will come. Banks are ready with the money up to the neck. Money is not an issue. The problem is these entrepreneurs, when they go with the half of the information. That is why the organizers, if they provide a hand-holding support in terms of their technology, in terms of their design development of the project, in terms of their buyers' need, in terms of their infrastructure, believe me, because people are doing it, no bank will deny any kind of funding. I personally, I'm looking after Delhi and NCR region, Raga. SBI to Punjab National Bank to Syndicate Bank to Canara Bank, including Citi. There is not an issue. So, what I'm trying to, before I close my remarks, opening remarks, I think I took lot of time, but my whole issue is ministry is having huge schemes and programs and ready to sponsor, ready to provide all possible assistance to you people are you as a exhibition organizers. But in the coming next 2-3 years, you will have a lot of responsibility in terms of providing a marketing support or export market to the Indian MSMEs. With this, Raghav and participant, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Those were really assuring words, and you came forward, addressed the industry today. We've been waiting to hear you out because actually we want some kind of a support from MSMEs. And as you rightly said, our industry is the catalyst to economic growth. We are the best promotion vehicle for the companies, for MSMEs. So I'm sure that your address to the industry today is really assuring, and I can assure you that if organizers survive, if organizers put up their exhibitions, then our industry is going to thrive in the future. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you for addressing our industry today. And with this, I would now like to invite our first panelist, Mr. Kailash Murarka. I would like to invite Mr. Kailash Murarka, who is chairperson of PLASTIVISION. PLASTIVISION is one of the leading plastics exhibitions. So, Mr. Murarka, welcome to the session today. Please tell us how you are preparing for the future as a leading organizer. What is your take of about the exhibition industry in future, and how are your members dealing with this situation? Over to you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So good afternoon all. First of all, I would like to compliment and thank Mr. Raghavji for organizing such a wonderful session, and able to get Mr. Vijay Kumar ji, who is such a senior dignitary and very, very occupied and busy gentleman, but still he is able to join us. So thank you, Vijay Kumar ji, for your great time and insight about future and in the industry. And I see a lot of participants and a lot of panelists. They are also all bigwigs of the exhibition industry. It has never happened before. So it's a very good maiden event, and especially in this lockdown time, I think it will help in a long way. Thank you very much, Raghavji. Now let's start.
So, Kailash, can you tell us that as a leading organizer, and you are also an association, what is your take on the future of exhibitions? How do you think the exhibitions will evolve in the future? How are you preparing for your upcoming events?
First of all, I would like to take your permission that in between, probably I feel that we should talk in Hindi also. I think हमारे जितने भी panelists हैं, they all must be understanding Hindi easily.
Sir, we have some international guests also, so I would request.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. All right, no worry. Yeah. So maybe listeners could be international also. So, gentlemen, thank you all for giving this opportunity. Presently, we are passing through a very turmoil situation. It's a pandemic which is happening world over. But I think we will come out successfully in this, because we have seen we are lucky to have head of a nation which is probably most promising and very enterprising. They have been able to handle the situation very, very dynamically and eventfully, and the whole country is supporting this mission. So that is the biggest advantage today what we are seeing. And this situation is, I think, not to be worried. I think we have to create this opportunity in such a way. I will tell you, in 1945 August, Japan faced this crisis when this atom bomb was destroyed. I mean, atom bomb destroyed the whole country, and 25% of the wealth was destroyed, and almost 3 million people died. We are in a very better situation, and in no time, in 1980, Japan could become the second largest power in the world. We Indians are very, very, very in a better situation to handle such situation. And Japan, when this turmoil was there, the whole world was working fine. Only Japan was in trouble. Today, the whole world is in this situation. So I think India will come out very well. And as this whole market and whole country will pass through turbulent time, again, exhibition industry will definitely required and help the business to grow, because this is the only platform where a manufacturer can demonstrate and get the business mobilized directly in this whatever 3, 4, 5 days time exhibition is happening.
Well, thank you for sharing your perspectives with us, and those were really positive words coming from one of the leading exhibition organizers in India. And I'm sure that if you remain positive, then we have no reason to worry at all. Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspectives. I would now like to take the perspective of Mr. Guru Prasath, who is representing NuernbergMesse India. As we all know, NuernbergMesse is one of the leading organizers. They have multiple satellite shows across different industries in India. I would like to ask Mr. Guru, what is your take, as Shri Vijay Kumar ji said, that a lot of MSMEs participate in exhibitions. How would you understand and take what perspectives would you take out of his address to the industry today?
Well, thanks, Raghav. First of all, my due regards to all the panelists and speakers. I think it's a wonderful forum to exchange ideas. Let me just put things in perspective before I could really get into Vijay Kumarji's speech, which was very reassuring and very forthcoming as well. I think as we all know that COVID-19 situation has struck us all with a lightning speed and deadly force. And we have never seen anything like it in our lifetimes and are still grappling with the present crisis to navigate our charters as how to best react to it. I would rather see the present situation into three-phase process. Let me just put it that way. Phase one is a lockdown that we are currently going in. Phase two, which shall be a semi-normal type or something similar to that, which we will see in the next few weeks' time. And phase three will be the new normal or the future ahead process that I would see. But as the discussions begin about the opening of country back and rolling up of the phase two process, exhibition industry will certainly not lead the return and in fact may not be the part of the second phase as well as what Mr. Vijay Kumarji has rightly put, because we are all mirroring the economy, we are all mirroring the market, and there is no market, there is no sale, there is no income, so it's all in a standstill position at this point in time. So the exhibition business, as we all know, it's not a bell cow anyhow. So it's a highly fragmented sector with events identifying more closely with the industries that we serve and than the exhibition industry itself. So it's for the industries and communities that we engage constantly, daily, continuously, that shall lead to understand the likely issues of the industry concerns as well in the present times. To take a more longer perspective view of the exhibition industry itself, we will have to embrace a digital technology. I'm just going a bit deeper into the discussion. I'm sure you will touch the topic as well, but I'm just putting a precursor to that discussion. So I think the exhibition industry will need to be more phygital in nature, which means that face-to-face and digital has to go hand in hand. And engaging digitally with our customers and assessing the requirements, understanding buying behaviors, it all has to have through digital means. And it will complement the face-to-face model of the core element of the exhibition industry itself. This crisis, as we all know, is a totally new experience that will probably require new thinking and a new different approach altogether for the future. I'm sure we will touch on topics like online and virtual show as well, which some organizers have already started doing that. But yes, in terms of going back to your question on MSME, I think we are expecting, I was there in the discussion yesterday also where the MSME ministry had given some reassurance, hope of having one more package coming up, which I'm sure will be a big boost for the participants as like. But we as exhibition organizers, I would say we have a big job to do, as what Dr. Vijayji has said to us, that we have to go back to the basic roots. Probably we have to go back to the people and organizations saying that exhibitions are an important forum for them to do business. I think that should be the first challenge that we as exhibition organizers would be actually doing that.
Well, yes, very rightly said. And as you rightly mentioned, that we have to also tell the government how important as a medium we are for the MSMEs, for the businesses to thrive back and bounce back again. That is where it is also important to make the government understand that exhibitions are different from mass gatherings. So we will definitely touch upon that sometime later. Thank you for sharing your perspectives with us, Mr. Guru. And with this, I would like to move to Mr. Shibu Chellappan, who is representing one of the leading service providers. And I would like to understand from you, Mr. Shibu, what is your take on the situation as a leading service provider? What is your take on this? And what kind of a future do you foresee for the exhibition and convention services in India? Over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Raghav, and the esteemed panelists, and the members from the fraternity. Thank you for the conducting such webinars. I think we are doing a series of webinars for the event industry. It's a very good initiative. And Mr. Vijay Kumarji's words was very promising. So I think we have a better hope with his words. So all of us, without saying, all of us know we are going through the worst global crisis ever we heard of in our lives. Economy is standstill, nothing is moving. We are still in lockdown. The shows are getting cancelled up to December 2020. Maybe it will go beyond. We are expecting not expecting any revenue for next to 6 to 8 months. Hopefully, we'll be back in our office and start working very soon. The major concern is the business health of the companies. We need to figure out an efficient way to keep the company functioning without any revenue or with little revenue, and develop strategies to maintain the cash flow, meeting the fixed expenses.
Yes, I'm sure it is difficult to maintain cash flow. Would you like to share some perspectives how you are preparing as a leading service provider? You can show some light to other service providers also. How are you preparing for the future?
See, now as Guru said, it's in 3 phases. The next phase is very critical. We need to live with the life with the COVID for some time. I don't know for how many months, but that is going to be a new normal, and government will also come out with the guidelines for working, conducting shows, also have restrictions, number of people for the construction, number of visitors to the at a show at a particular point of time. Then again, there will be regulations for sanitization and health check, guidelines for workers, staff, visitors, workplace and social distancing. And this will keep continuing. And now what we have to do, we need to, that new normal thing we need to apply. The traditional communication style will change. Now since all of us are using, now being forced to utilize the technology by conducting the meeting. Now the Zoom meetings and WebEx meeting, Teams meetings are happening. So it will be easier and quicker way to call a meeting. There will be more efficient way to do certain jobs. As we realize, some people can work from home. Everyone don't need to come to office. Traveling can be reduced. Now video conferencing is widely accepted. Even for our industry, the design submission, presentations, negotiation, everything is possible to video conferencing. Then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Since we are little short of time and we have many panelists to go, I would rather take those observations and thank you for sharing your points with us. I would like to focus these points to Mr. Dharampal Singh Malhotra, who is also a leading service provider from Hyderabad. I would like to ask him, like what Mr. Shibu has mentioned, these points on social distancing, preparing for the future, digitalization. What are your perspectives on this, and how are you preparing for the future as a leading service provider?
Good afternoon, everyone. Shibuji has rightly put most of things, Raghav, but what I would like to add on. See, considering the fact that yes, we are solely dependent on the exhibition organizers to host exhibitions. Once they host, only then our role comes into the picture. Keeping that in mind, that next 6 to 8 months are a little tight, unless we get a clear guidelines from the government that when will the exhibitions will be permitted, B2B or B2C. Unless there's a clarity from their end, it is very challenging for us to know what we can do. Currently, we are focusing on, maintenance of the stock. This is the right time. The staff is sitting idle, whatever we have right now. The concentration is more on the maintenance of the stock. So at the moment we get the opportunity to serve the organizers, we should be ready with our equipment in spick and span shape so that even they should not have an issue. Sanitization is to be playing a very important role now. We are sanitizing our equipments from end to end, keeping the team motivated and training them how to be taking care of their health and the health conditions during the working of an exhibition, pre-opening and post the exhibition workings. That's where our concentration is right now. Apart from that, we are in touch with our clients and understanding their concerns. A lot of organizers are having hesitations because even as Vijay Kumar rightly said, this thing here might extend to 3 years. So, even the organizers are today scared that what would be the outcome, whether the public will come or not. And they are going to risk it. So is that it's not just the revenue that they're going to risk, but also the expenditure, because the expenditure is not going to come down. Revenue might surely vary. What else you want me to comment on, Raghav? I'm happy to comment on it.
Yes, as you rightly said, that it all depends upon when the exhibitions will start, and the service providers have to be ready to back the momentum. So how are you preparing yourselves at this point in time to equip yourself and your workers with, once the situation opens, normalizes? Are you undergoing some training process for your staff and all?
We have planned the training process but haven't started because our teams are scattered at multiple warehouses and cities. We would like to start only once their mindset is clear. As of now, even they are worried whether they will be paid their salaries on time or not. Right now our concentration is that with the entire team which is there, we are providing the groceries, the ration, the food items to them, taking care of the basic needs that they are having. Once these things settle down, once they have money in their pocket, today we start training. We surely know the moment this lockdown is over, everybody would like to rush back to their hometown, and we are not aware that how many will turn back. So training an employee at this point of time in our sector is a challenging affair. Yes, the managerial staff trainings are already on at our end, but with regard to the skilled and the unskilled, we have put it on hold but planned for the training sessions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dharampal, for your valuable perspectives. And definitely we would like to go back to Vijay Kumar ji at the end of the session and take his perspective as to when exhibitions can start happening. What is the viewpoint of the ministry? Can they help us to start with some standard operating procedures? Can we begin to function, and how soon can it happen? We'll take those questions in the end. Now, let me thank you for your perspectives and move to Ms. Meena Bhatia, who is representing Lee Meridien, Delhi. She is the Vice President and General Manager. Thank you for coming to our session today and joining us, Ms. Bhatia. First, we would like to understand your perspective. I'll just unmute you. That as to how much importance do you give to conferences and exhibitions as a venue, as a hotel? I'm sure that's not your key business, but we would like to understand, being in the exhibition fraternity, MICE fraternity, how much weightage do you give to MICE meetings, exhibitions, conferences?
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you for inviting me on this for the session. And no, it is one of our important sectors, not, key business, of course. Tourism, exhibitions, MICE, weddings, this all form part of the hospitality industry. In fact, contribution of MICE to our business is almost close to 20%. And the location that our hotel is specifically, we have always been totally dependent on ITPO and the exhibitions that happen there. So it is a very important segment, and your exhibition business not only brings in business to the country in terms of promotion of companies and MSMEs like Mr. Vijay Kumar was saying, but also there is a multiplier effect to tourism, to hospitality. Whoever comes for an exhibition stays longer to visit the country, so it is a tourism promotion, shopping, and our industry, it has uncountable kind of means of contribution to the GDP at large, and your business and exhibitions play a very big role in that. So coming to the current situation, we all know that right now there are challenges, but like Mr. Vijay Kumar said, that every adversity also comes with advantages. So looking at the growth of MSMEs and looking at business opportunities that might grow from here, I think the business is only going to grow. Yes, currently for the next, 18 months or so, or till the time a vaccine is developed, a mass exhibition may not be the way forward. And I know that exhibitions have always been, the success of an exhibition has always been counted by the footfalls. That may not be the way forward, but smaller exhibitions with just focused buyer groups who are more serious buyers, who can actually churn business, would be the way forward in the interim till we are ready to accept larger exhibitions. Perhaps we were talking about sanitization, and I'm glad that Marriott Hotels, of which we are a part, took the lead in launching the first cleanliness guide. And we are already in the process of now training our staff on the new guidelines, new standards. Everybody knows, and we've been talking about in many webinars, that life is not going to be the same. And we know that. We know that we have to do things differently, and we are preparing for it. And I'm so glad that the exhibition industry is also looking at it and preparing itself to do exhibitions differently. I think a good bet for the industry would also be to use premises of the hotels, because you can be assured of a high level of cleanliness and hygiene and sanitization. Of course, we will have to, for some time, till the time, like I said, the vaccine is not there, we will have to maintain social distancing. I don't know, we could look at smaller exhibitions, staggered hours for buyers. We could look at maybe guest rooms, because we are not going to go over 50% occupancies in the next 1.5 years. So maybe looking at exhibitors being in the rooms and being more sanitized, and maybe maintaining that distance. So we can look at different ways. I think Indians have always been, and especially in our industry, we have been very resilient, and we will find some innovative and creative ways, but we will not let the business go. And I think for India, I think the stage is set for an advantage out of this adversity. Unfortunate that this is a global crisis, and so many people, and our hearts go out for people who've been affected with this disease. But at the same time, like the show has to go on and life has to carry on. So we will innovate and we will take this forward in the best possible way. The challenge will bring us some opportunities.
Well, thank you, Ms. Bhatia. Those were really positive words coming out of you. And hearing that 20% of your revenue comes from MICE is really, really good to hear that, know that. And we can tell you that exhibition organizers just do not do large-scale events, exhibitions, but they also organize a lot of road shows to promote their events. They also have a lot of conferences to support their exhibitions, which are mostly held at five-star hotels like yours. So thank you for joining us today, sharing your positive words with us. Thank you. With this, I would like to move to Mr. Roop Dayani, who is a leading service provider from New Delhi region. Mr. Dayani, please tell us what is your perspective on the situation, and what do you feel is going to be the future of our industry? What is your take on the virtual shows? Are you preparing from some technological point of view?
Well, thank you, Raghav. Thank you all the panelists and all the invited guests hearing us out, taking their time out. And special thanks to Mr. Vijay Kumar for the wonderful insights. I'll answer the second bit of the question first, because a lot has been already spoken about the present scenario. And we come a little towards the end of the line after an exhibition has been organized and thought about, and then it is ultimately like we are literally a bricks and mortar company. We have to design the stalls, we have to construct the stalls, we have to engage with labor and designers and that kind of a team. So we are, like Mr. Dharampal and Mr. Shibu said, we are a little dependent on when the exhibitions actually start rolling out. Presently, we are thinking of how to educate our team, how to make them ready for the new normal, so to say, like everyone keeps talking about that. So we are presently in the process of training the entire staff and looking towards technology to work amongst ourselves. As far as the second part of the question goes, which is how will technology maybe take over the real exhibitions, that's that could be possibly divided into two parts. When we look at conferences and seminars where people are talking, where people are discussing things, then possibly a lot of it can go online, like the way we are discussing things right now. But for exhibitions and events where products have to be displayed, where maybe products have to be explained face to face, sooner or later the old style of exhibitions has to come back, along with obviously the restrictions and health and safety guidelines that will have to be incorporated. So we presently are working, we're not even thinking about going into the virtual world, because we are, like I said, we are a bricks and mortar company. We are not into softwares or things like that. So we are trying to upgrade ourselves by looking at technology from the point of view of how to have better trained people, how to engage more things, equipments into our working style. And that is predominantly what we are going to be focusing on, training the staff. We should be thinking of having less number of people on site right now because labor is cheap. 50, 70 people go to the site for exhibitions from our side. How can we cut down costs? How can people multitask from our point of view? Like an electrician could be a carpenter kind of a thing for smaller shows. So those kind of things is what we are right now thinking of, how to rationalize our manpower and train our team to upgrade to the new normal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dayani, for your perspectives. And as you rightly said, that exhibitions cannot be replaced by digital platforms. Of course, there can be some kind of a complementing along with the digital technology. Thank you for sharing your perspectives. With this, I would like to move to Mr. H.K. Bhattad, who is the immediate past president of Indian Exhibition Services Association. Welcome, welcome, sir. And Mr. Bhattad, you work a lot with the government organizations and for large scale exhibitions, government events. What is your take on this situation? And what is government saying about reopening their large scale exhibitions anytime soon? Mr. Bhattad, are you there? Only Mr. Bhattad can speak up because I'm unable to unmute
Yearly revenue was around 1 crore.
I think we do not have, we cannot locate Mr. Bhattad. With this, I would like to move to Mr. Karan Madan, who is representing BAE Production. Mr. Madan, you are a young entrepreneur. Please tell us what is your take on the situation.
First of all, Vision Showcase team as well. And a very good afternoon to all the panelists, all the speakers, and everybody who's joined into the webinar. We've already heard most of the speakers, panelists talk about how they're going to approach the entire situation. Over here we have a challenge, and within each challenge there is an opportunity. Challenges are very, very evident currently that there's been a loss of business, a lot of events and exhibitions have been postponed. Everybody's reeling under that pressure of revenue not coming in. So from a macro point of view, how do we really stay afloat? How do we keep our head above water as an organization is concerned? And from a micro point of view, how do we keep the teams motivated, keep the teams together? How do we really avoid doing layoffs in a current situation? This situation is not going anywhere anytime soon. Our industry might have been the first one to be affected, and our industry might be the last one to come out of the waters as such. I think, we need to be positive in the current situation. We'll have to see each day as it comes. We'll have to see what kind of embargoes are put on, physical gathering of people. Putting that into perspective, the most important aspect, I think, for every one of us as service providers, as creators of brick and mortar structures, etc., is to still stay relevant in the eyes and ears of our clients. As a human species, the physical interaction aspect of it will not go anywhere. It will come back. The only key here is to somehow stay relevant and stay pragmatic and positive till that time happens. So I think a lot of panelists already brushed up on that, on ways to really do that. So we need to really rethink, relearn, re-energize, use this time to really keep the teams motivated, to keep ourselves afloat. And I'm sure that through the trickiest of situations, usually as event managers, as exhibition organizers, we are notorious of coming out of tricky situations. And I'm sure that we will definitely prevail. And there's a saying that once you hit rock bottom, The only way to go about after that is up. So this is pretty much rock bottom for pretty much all of us. And I'm sure the only way that we will go from here is really up, and we will thrive. I'm sure we will come out of the situation. And, we just need to stay together. We need to think about collaborations. We need to think about staying lean in the future. And so I really feel that there's going to be a marriage between the virtual and the physical aspect of how we organize things in the future. So, for example, even a layout of an exhibition might change. How we navigate an exhibition might change from that point of view. How do we keep people apart? But yes, we keep that physical interaction going. So I think that's pretty much it. And I'm sure we will come out of this much better, and things will definitely, look up in the future.
Thank you, Karan, for those positive words. Thank you for sharing your perspectives with us. I'd like to move to Mr. Kanish Jain now. Mr. Kanish Jain is into temporary structures. Mr. Jain, what are you doing these days as a structure provider? Are you having some kind of perspectives by helping out government in making makeshift hospitals? How are you utilizing your infrastructure at this point in time?
Yeah, thank you, Raghav. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a talk on this wonderful platform. And thanks to Vijay ji for giving us such a good insight on what is going to happen. So these days, we are using our structures, aluminum structures, which were previously being used in doing exhibitions to make makeshift hospitals. Number one, we are using our aluminum structures to make quarantine tents. We have made our customized our structures to accommodate like 1,000 people, like the laborers in Delhi, in Mumbai, to make makeshift homes. So that's why that's how we are contributing in this cause. So there's lot to look forward to. So I think that's
Sure.
that's what I
Thank you for joining us, and I'm sure that by doing all these things, you are also keeping your labor in employed at this point in time, and their salaries are being taken care of in due course.
Yeah, of course, we are working from day one of the lockdown, and we are following all the sanitizing norms in our all the social distancing norms in our factory, and we are working from day one, and everything is being taken care of. So we have to be positive about what is so. This is the new way of existence.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best to continue the good work and set a good example for exhibition industry that we can be of very good use to the government at the emergency times as well. Well, thank you. And with this, I would like to take the perspective of Mr. Biswas, who is representing here the Stall Federation, Stall Constructors, Association. What is your take? What is your community doing at this point in time? How do you see the future? And we would like to hear from you. What are your perspectives? I'll just unmute you.
Thank you, Mr. Raghav. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Can I request everybody? Can I request everybody to please keep your microphone on mute? There is a technical error. I request you to please put yourself on mute for the convenience of everybody, while the speaker may just unmute himself.
Yeah. So again, thank you, Mr. Raghav, and I feel honored and privileged to be here in this group discussion. And I represent the stall fabricator community. And SDEC stands for Exhibition Stall Designers and Constructors. If you know about our fraternity, we are a group of micro and small number of small companies. The number of companies is big, but they're not very big. And this industry is more fragmented, quite informal. So we want to give it a shape, make things better. That's how the association has been formed. And we are an important spoke in the wheel of the exhibition industry. We help the exhibition to grow. But we are not the driving engine. The exhibition organizers are the driving engineers. They are the main engine of the train, and we are the various compartments. And we do our level best for the exhibition to excel. Coming to this present situation, the present situation is like everybody's saying we are having a tough time. Especially this is more challenging for our industry because it's dominated by number of micro small companies. Since March, we have zero business. It will continue in the coming months. So how we survive? The challenge is that how we survive, how we are able to take care of the overheads, the office expenses, the manpower expenses. Although the government is bringing some measures, I request is that can we have some tailor-made packages for industry? Because my observation is that most of these packages are meant for big corporates, but we are not corporates. So a lot of things are happening in this industry across the world. Just to give an example, Turkey, the government had decided to take care of, bear the expenses of the offices of stall constructors. Similar thing can be there in India also. And the second thing, during this COVID space time, our expertise also can be used in the healthcare industry. We are good in we are good in design fabrication. So we can make kiosk, the fumigation chambers. So these are a lot of things we can do it. But again, we are not very strong dealing with the government. Some people are doing a sporadic basis. Can there be direct connect between the government and our law industry so that things move faster and better? That's what I can request. Going to the things, the future, what we talk, a lot of people have told already. The future is that the final stage is going to come. It will take time. When the vaccine is invented, it is produced, it is administered. And then things will really become normal. But during this interim period, we see how the exhibition should start. Because exhibitions are an important driver to the economy. To give an example, China, they already started exhibition. The Hunan exhibition has started. So why don't we also be a trendsetter for the exhibition to start? But again, it will be the interim period. It will not be the same which used to be earlier. We understand that. But for that situation to happen, the government has to give the guidelines. Government has to set the way we can talk about an exhibition which is almost 5 to 10,000 people. How we can ensure that we maintain social distancing. So the government guidelines has to come. Along with the government guidelines, the exhibition organizers, the venue providers, they have to decide on the standard operating procedures which we need to follow. Here I would like to request Mr. Raghav to the people is that when these guidelines are being made, we should also be involved so that the pain areas are addressed in the beginning and we have a standard operating procedures which is flawless execution. The success depends on execution. That's what we want to request. Again, also, we may say that in our industry, we have challenges. We are a labor-intensive industry. If you talk about the exhibition of 3 stages. The first stage is when the exhibition, before the exhibition starts. Second is that the exhibition is on. And third is the exhibition gets over. So as our community, we are there during the fabrication and after the exhibition is over, when we do the dismantling. So on these places, we have to see that how we can able to maintain social distancing. That's where we need guidelines. We also have to see the health and hygiene. How we can see that we can have better, where we have the ball is in everybody's court. It's not only we have to take that. Everybody has to come together, see how we can maintain it. When you talk about the fabrication time, during the fabrication, they are in a stall. We have electricians, we have painters, we have carpenters, various services. Everybody is working together in a closed area to make the stall. How we can maintain the social distancing. So those are the things we have to gear up for that. See, we have challenges. Every industry has challenges. We also have challenges. But what is important is that we are optimistic of the future. Our team, we are geared up. We are waiting for the opportunity to come, and we are there as a community. We will be fully geared up, fully providing support, so this industry can scale to greater heights. I keep on telling people.
Well, good points, Mr. Biswas. Thank you. Since we are a little short of time, I'm sorry I have interrupted you, but you shared very good perspectives, and we need to have SOPs as a part of India Mice Alliance campaign.
Can you take questions, Raghu?
Yes, since Mr. Vijay Kumar has to leave for a meeting with the ministry. So one thing, as Mr. Biswas and all the panelists have also mentioned, is that China, which was the epicenter of this pandemic, has restarted their exhibitions because they understand that exhibitions are the catalyst to economic growth. They are the propeller of growth engines. Sir, when can we have exhibitions restarting in India, can government know this fact that exhibitions are different from mass gatherings? So even if temples, even if sports, and even if marriages are not yet allowed, at least we can have some SOPs and exhibitions can start happening. Can we have your answer on this?
Raghav, see, you have given an example of China, right? China has more or less, overcome the COVID, right, 19. Now, as far the India is concerned, this is a beginning, and the government is trying to control. And I'm sure that in coming months, something will come out, and it will come out only. It will come out only. Let me again reiterate. It will come out only when the government start feeling. Because in what is happening is, when you organize any exhibition or any such event, fine, the organizer, they can do it, but about the participants which are coming, entry from gate to the exhibitions, how much time you can remind? So it will take time. It will take time. Wait for some coming months, and I'm sure that government is fully visible, not only the exhibition, for any such event, for any such, and particularly the event industry. And the worst part is that the way the workers and the labor is moving across the country, and they are going to the home, and I do not know. I'm saying I do not know. Everybody knows whether they'll come back or not. If they will not come back, how the industry and the training part, that will the government has to address. Government has to relook into it. How we have to move with the associations. That is also a very important part. But the Raghav, what you have said, it is exhibition organized physically in India, it will take time.
Sir, but any ray of hope for us? Does the government, recognize our value, the value that exhibitions bring to them, and how important
our
certainly
yes. Oh, certainly yes. That Raghav is not a question to answer. It's certainly yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, thank you, sir. So we will wait for our time to come, and we will definitely in that time prepare ourselves to equip ourselves with the skills for the future.
Raghav, could I just address, I know Vijay Kumar ji is very busy, but if I could just address one comment.
Yeah, no problem. Please. No problem. Please.
Raghav, Ravinder Sethi, if you have not,
okay.
Can you find me?
Okay, please give your comments.
Thank you. Sir, I've heard so many of, icons of the industry over here and reputable people, and you made a comment, sir. You said that I hope I'm not spending too much time, and I've overshot my time. Honestly, from what all you said, I wish you would spend at least a couple of hours with us, because you gave such great black and I'm not trying to put you up or anything, but MSME, the ministry, and with the dynamic, proactive minister have already proven themselves in what they are doing. They've already proven themselves. What all statistics you gave us, they're truth. Now, what all you've also projected for the future, you said we will do this. And we believe you, because we know this ministry. But what, sir, today the industry is asking for is a shock treatment, a positive shock treatment. Now, I know today you have a list which is 1 mile long in the MSME, right? And the exhibition sector, somebody just made a comment, we suffered the first and we will recover the last. Sir, in between, hame bhool mat jaiye.
Yeah.
Sir, one last comment. The IEIA, our Indian Exhibition Industry Association, we've already put in a request for a stimulus package to our nodal ministry, which is MOC. And we have gone directly to secretary. We've had meetings with secretary, joint secretary. Anup Padavanji gave us a great audience. So in that package, we have put a special allocation for MSMEs. So if we could get an opportunity, I'm sorry, I'm using you because you are there.
No.
हमें सर उस लिस्ट में हमें जरा ऊपर ले आइए.
Raghav, why don't you do one thing? I am ready to accept my all colleagues, their questions, their suggestions in my core of heart. You decide how your all exhibitors, all exhibition organizers, what type of problems and how can I address? At present, physically not possible for me. But let us say after 3 months, when things will come to the green zone, I have no problem to go to Mumbai, to Bangalore, to this at my own expenses. and really address and really help them physically, understand them. How
Well,
ministry, my MSME ministry, textile ministry, food ministry, commerce ministry, which are these schemes, programs, how they can take it an advantage. There's a huge millions of rupees lying.
well,
All these people are not aware. I mean, you decide. I have no
well,
problem.
definitely.
You
Well,
decide.
definitely.
You discuss with me. I have no problem. You
Well,
decide
definitely.
action plan.
Definitely, sir. We will do that. Thank you for all your
Thank
supporting
you.
words. And I would also like to tell all the panelists that Shri Vijay Kumar ji has accepted to be on the committee, advisory committee of India Mice Alliance campaign. And I'm very thankful to Mr. Vijay Kumar from MSME to be part of that core committee. So please, I request the entire industry to
Thank you,
thank
Raghav.
you for
Thank you,
joining
Raghav.
us, sir. And
Thank
I
you,
would
Raghav.
now like to move to our rest of the panelists.
Sorry, Raghav, I interrupted you, and I wanted to make this comment.
No, that's fine. That's fine, Mr. Sethi. Thank you for sharing your
Thank you.
perspectives with us. Those were really insightful perspectives. And I would like to move to our rest of the panelists because
So,
we have
Raghav, I'm leaving, right?
all
Raghav,
right,
I'm
sir.
leaving. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining, sir. I would like to move to Mr. Berislav Cizmek, who has joined us from Croatia. Mr. Berislav, please tell us what is the global perspective? You have heard the Indian discussion today. How different is the Indian scenario from the global perspective? And what is your take on China restarting their exhibition? How positive can we be in the future? We'll just unmute you.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Raghav, for opportunity to be your guest and panelist. So I learned today a lot news what's going on in the Indian exhibition industry. But like you said, so our company CBBS is a member of UFI. We are with the exhibitions more than 25 years. I used to be the organizer and venue owner in Zagreb, in one of the biggest organizers in Eastern Europe for 17 years. Right now, we are working on internationalization, new business developments, and mergers and acquisitions with the leading exhibition organizers. And yes, we have the insight what's going on in the global exhibition industry. I will be very happy to share that with your panelists and all the guests today. So also what is maybe interesting is that Croatia, as EU member country, we entered European Union in 2013, and right now we have Croatia has the presidency of European Union. So we also have the latest insight what is going on EU level. For example, some days ago was a conference of ministers of tourism on the European Union level, where the ministers are discussing opportunities for opening the borders, starting to travel, participation, or bringing the guests, tourists from one country to another, which I believe is also very important for the exhibition industry itself, because without any there is no exhibitions or events, international events. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. So the situation across the globe or Europe is similar like in India. So since March, everything is closed, it's lockout. So the events are canceled. The late February was the time when the last events took place. So it's since beginning of March, even the big events were canceled, like ITB, the tourism show in Berlin, like Mobile World in Barcelona, car show in Geneva in Switzerland. Even ITB developed some sort of virtual ITB this year as one compensation for the exhibitors and visitors. So everybody is starting to working at home and starting happening with the events in the future. So I shared already one link. This is the link to UFI Connect. UFI is the global association. So Ravinder is one of the members and chairman of working group. I'm a member as well at UFI. And every couple of days, there is a one session on exhibition industry, what's going on in the world. I believe that it can be useful for all Indian companies and associations as well to see what's going on in Europe, what's going on in the US, what's going on in Latin America or Asia itself. So this is some sort of recommendation where you can hear what's going on, because I believe that similar problems are bordering all the exhibition organizers and venues worldwide. So maybe there was a lot of very interesting discussions. What I can, from my experience, say, so definitely exhibitions are a key marketing tool for SMEs. So I would say that for SMEs, there was more market research done. So the SMEs are really relying on exhibitions like key marketing tool to find the buyers, to find new products, to learn or whatever. So that's why I believe that small and medium-sized companies and maybe B2B events will be those who are recovering first in the first stage. But maybe just come back to some notes or information which would maybe raise some optimism among all of us. So first of all, so the air carrier are, let's say, starting to find starting to open the lights, at least nationally. So hotels are discussing healthy and sanitation measures to open hotels worldwide. Oxford University is maybe to find some sort of vaccine by the end of the year. So this is the last announcement for COVID-19. So I would say we should be optimists in this very situation, but what we should understand as well, we should be proactive. So I think that industry itself should lobby at governmental level, should lobby at national authorities for support for them or for the exhibitors to take part in the exhibitions. But definitely, like Mr. Vijay just shared with us, so he is open to talk with the exhibition industry, but I believe that industry should come with some already prepared solutions, already prepared measures, so that everybody who will be discussing a reopening of the events should understand that so the industry is fully ready to open the venues, to guarantee the safety, to guarantee the healthy measures, so that those who will give the permission are on safe side, but also our customers should be on the safe side as well. Some weeks ago, it was done one research among the people who are fans or visitors of sport events. So I would say that 80% of people in this research said that they will not be coming back to watch the sport events unless there is very high level of safety and security, or unless there is a vaccine already discovered. So I believe that we have to be prepared for something new. So I can share with you, so what is here is the Brussels Expo. Brussels Expo is, I would say, among the first world venues. They made, so the title of their is Brussels Expo will be the first COVID-safe exhibition space in the world. So they are already informing the customers, the guests, the clients, what kind of measures they will perform in their venue, so that from June 2020, they will have the top equipment in all the spaces of the venue, so that everybody coming there can be at least sure that it will be the highest measures possible. So I would say that this is maybe the pattern or the way the industry can go as well and look on something like that. So definitely in maybe to share some how maybe some perspectives of how I see this next steps. So definitely right now everybody is thinking about digital and going online, which is well perceived. I think that the exhibition industry worldwide was last maybe 3 to 5 years implementing a lot of digital content in their events to enable matchmaking, a better promotion of the exhibitors, online presentation, registration, whatever. But what the exhibition industry was missing, they didn't find the best way how to make the revenue out of digital content. So right now, I think that there is the challenge and the next step for the industry, so that they have to understand so how they will offer the digital content, because right now I think all the exhibition organizers worldwide and MICE organizers are organizing webinars, presentations, trying to keep the discussion, conversation, and communication with the market and the customers. But definitely the market is open right now to pay for the digital content as well. So I think that the exhibition industry should keep it in mind and should find the models how they will offer the part of digital content and how they will make the revenue out of it. So in the, maybe just one more comment. So in short run, definitely the national and regional events with less traveling maybe will have more chance to recover. We'll see, so maybe some sort of new partnerships, since I am in mergers and acquisitions field. So definitely there is expected some sort of consolidation, but I believe that we have to go day by day and learn from the others. I believe that those, especially in the B2B segment, have the best chances to survive and be the first to be back to the market, because they will be needed. And what we all did in the past, we have to understand that right now we can learn from the others, but we have to adjust our own show, our own solution to our market, our customers. So I think that right now this communication with the market and our customers is much more needed than ever before.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Berislav, for your valuable global insights, and thank you for joining the session today. I think we have Mr. H.K. Bhattad has rejoined us. I will just try to connect to Mr. H.K. Bhattad to take his comment on Mr. Bhattad. You deal with a lot of government events. What is the government saying? Are you getting some signals from them for restarting large-scale government events anytime, maybe in late 2020 or maybe in 2021?
As of now, there is no requirement. Right now, government is focusing only for these quarantine centers for the temporary structures. But we need government's help for the prospective calling more shows, because government will be more aggressive to the participants, and government spending will push the organizer as well as the service providers to overcome the current scenario. Government confidence building measures to bring foreign participants, because if the government is calling for the foreign participants, they have more confidence than to a private organizer.
Okay, thank you for sharing those perspectives with us, Mr. Bhattad. And there was some technical problem earlier, so we could not take your comments earlier. Final comments from Mr. Max Fernandes, who is here representing Informa Markets India. Mr. Fernandes, I would like to ask you one straightforward question. How your equation with the service providers and venues is going to change post-COVID? Are you working on some kind of evolution in your format and in your relationships with your existing service providers?
Yeah, good afternoon, Raghav. Thanks for giving this opportunity to come over here on this platform. And I've heard a lot of wonderful insights from all my co-panelists. Wonderful information provided by Shri Vijay Kumar ji also, which is really positive and looks good for the industry, especially for the participants and all coming ahead to participate into organizations. Yes, at Informa Markets, we take health and safety as a very important aspect into our daily working. So whether it's at the offices or whether it's at the shows that we organize, health and safety is something that we give a lot of importance to. And this pandemic is going to call for a lot of, measures towards controlling and with the implementations and SOPs in place. So having heard all my co-panelists about various insights provided, I would say today's rules that we will create will be tomorrow's the way of working, So definitely this is going to be a new norm now, and we will have to be living ahead with it. So there are different SOPs that will be coming in place. Maybe we will have to adapt and change to all of those things. It will not be like the days of yesteryears where we had things going on, just without any to the major health issues of our people. So we have a co-workers going on at Informa. We are working with in dialogues with a lot of the venues about all the HNS that they would be providing, all the implementation of many SOPs. So we are trying to work around with them. What are the things that can be provided inside to make our stakeholders comfortable in coming and visiting the venues and shows. So definitely we will be putting into a place a lot of this communications via EDMs or messages on the websites of our shows, the venue websites. Definitely we will be looking at. We are also in dialogue with many of our service providers, because service providers are the key for us. Without the help of service providers, how do you put up a show? So definitely we are looking at a lot of different ideas. I would only suggest to them that given this period of time where no much work is happening, I would urge all the service providers to put together their thoughts, come up with SOPs. There is this association which Mr. Bhattad and other are also part of, IESA. At this association, you need to put your thinking caps together and come up, develop some SOPs for your industry, for your particular side of the industry. So we will have to live with these pain points that are there. There is no other way to it. So we definitely have to come up with unique ways. We are also coming up with a lot of things in place. And it's going to be a challenging time for everyone, definitely. But I look forward to the support of all our service providers. As in the past, they have always been supportive, and it is because of them we are successful in implementing and conducting our shows. So I really look forward to the good times with them once again. Having faced this situation, definitely I know we will come out of it. We have got stalwarts in the industries that will have so many years of experience, and I'm sure collectively we will come out with a situation where it will be a win-win for all the stakeholders, and we will show to everyone that yes, events industry is there to stay for long. So
Okay.
that's my two bits of advice for everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandes. One question that a panelist said, attendee had asked, had emailed to us was for you specifically, was that Informa has started with virtual meetings for its exhibitors, and a little ahead of the curve in going virtual. So is it a scary situation for the service providers? Are physical exhibitions, will they be replaced, or Informa is committed to physical exhibitions in the future as well?
Yeah, very good question. And I think this point has been on the minds of everyone in the last month or so. Everyone with physical events being stopped. So everyone has got this big question mark, and I don't think so. There's nothing to worry about this. At Informa Markets, yes, we are looking at various devious ways of, trying to be engaged with our stakeholders, because we don't have to lose the momentum as of now. We can't afford to have a big gap in between. So definitely we are looking at a virtual, but then definitely those are on a different platform altogether. As I said, face-to-face meetings will happen. Our exhibitions are here to stay. Definitely there are industries where virtuals will not work for, but it will be a mix of hybrid. That it will be a hybrid situation in future. It will be a mix of both. We can look at having on-site platforms, including webinars and online interactive areas created also. So definitely it will be a mix, and I think this situation has given a challenge to everyone to come out with the best. And amalgamation of events is definitely another thing that I look in the positive for the industry in future. So rest assured, our physical events are here, and we will be leading them.
Thank you, Max. Those were really assuring words coming from a leading organizer. And we thank you for joining us today. One quick comment I would like to take before we end the session today is from Mr. Sunil More, who is the current president of Indian Exhibition Services Association. And today's main perspective was to understand the service provider's perspective. Is Mr. More with us? I think he is there. I'll just try to unmute him. Mr. More, can we have a quick comment from you for today's session and your perspective?
Excellent session, and thanks for Mr. to go through them to find out how we can leverage the financial side of participation in an exhibition. So that apart, I feel there is a need for change. And as Max rightly said, we will have to change as a service provider to offer best services, new type of services. A simple thought which always comes to my mind, when we construct stands, why should I have 50 people at the stand? If you see any international exhibition, 4 or 5 workmen make 100 square meters tall very easily, because their technologies are available which can be adopted by us. The ready-made stands, the prefabricated stands, or the modular stands. Because there will be, I'm sure there will be pressure on organizers to reduce the time which will be required, and also pressure from the government to reduce manpower to keep social distancing. So we will, as a service provider, we will have to look at this aspect. I'm giving you an example of stand contractor, but it will be true for carpet layers, it will be true for freight forwarders, or it will be true for housekeeping. All types of service providers need to see that they will be in time constraint to complete the work, and also they will have to maintain the social distancing.
Thank you, Mr. More. Thank you for joining us, and I would like to thank all the attendees, all the speakers, esteemed speakers, and especially Shri Vijay Kumar ji from Ministry of MSME, who joined us today despite his busy schedules. He has given us some assuring words, and these are little tough times for us, maybe some months, but if we keep strong and if we are committed to this industry is here to stay, because it is the catalyst to our economic growth. And finally, I would like to share with you that we have formed India Mice Alliance campaign to support the interest. It's a unifying campaign to bring together all stakeholders of the mice industry, from meetings, exhibitions, conferences, B2B events. We have got, we have made an advisory board which consists of all the stakeholders from these associations. Leading members of these associations have joined us, who represent the exhibition convention industry. And this committee is headed by Mr. Agarwal, who is the executive director of ITPO. So we are going to soon release the first, objective of this committee, of this campaign very soon. By next week, we'll be doing that. And with this, I would like to thank the industry for joining us. Please keep safe, be strong, and be committed to our industry, because we are going to bounce back. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Raghav. Thank you very much, Raghavji. All the best. Raghav.
Thank you. Thank you
so much, Raghav.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghavji. Raghav, can I have your number, please? Raghav, can you share your number?
I will share my email ID with all of you. If you have any questions, please put them to me on the mail.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you, all the panelists. It was a great opportunity. We should keep doing this more often, I believe. So let's adapt, let's evolve, and let's really transform the way we do our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karan, for joining. Thank you.
Raghav, anyway, the travel agents are part of this group.
Yes, they are. We have membership from Tafi, Tai, and we have from Pata. So we have tried to have the complete ecosystem in this campaign.
Thank you, Raghav. All the best. All the best to everybody from Croatia. And if you need any support for your Mice Alliance, feel free to ask me. We'll be happy to support you.
Thank you, Mr. Berislav.
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Dayani. Thank you, Mr. Fernandes.
Thank you all, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Raghav. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhattad, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Raghav. It was a great insights, and hopefully we can look forward to the help of Mr. Kumar.
Thank you, Sema Shastri ji. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Bye, Raghav ji.
Raghavji, can you send us the Vishwas sir's detailed?
Vijay.